Hi, I'm Lucille from the Center for Language Education. I've been teaching English at SUSTech since 2013. In this lesson, I will give you a general introduction of reading, and some major reading strategies will be introduced. 3 topics are included. They are: first, what is reading? Second, reading fluency. 3, reading comprehension. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to: first, how to become a fluent reader. Second, what fluency strategies can you apply in the process of reading? 3, what strategies can enhance your reading comprehension and how to practice these strategies. Okay, so first, let's look at reading. So, why is reading so important? What do you think? Is it because we need to do reading comprehension in exams? Well, yes, you are right if you are thinking so, but it is not the only reason, and it is not the most important reason. Reading helps gain background knowledge for speaking and listening. Reading provides good models for English writing. Reading also provides opportunities to study language, vocabulary, grammar, and the way we construct sentences, paragraphs, and texts. More importantly, as technology advances and jobs become more diversified, the need for reading skills also increases. So, what is reading? Think about it. Your answer probably had something to do with meaning, comprehension, or understanding. This is the most common way that people think of reading. Here is a useful definition of reading. So, reading is a number of interactive processes between the reader and the text, in which the readers use their knowledge to build, to create, and to construct a meaning. Is it a little abstract for you to understand? Now, let me explain to you the 3 keywords in this definition of reading: interactive, processes, and knowledge. Interactive refers to the interaction that occurs between the reader and the text. The reader constructs a meaning based partly on the knowledge drawn from the text and partly from the existing knowledge that the reader has. The second keyword, processes, are a number of processes at work when people read. For example, word recognition, sentence structure analysis, meaning coding, and inferencing. At last, the third keyword is knowledge. Actually, perhaps knowledges would be more accurate. This includes knowledge of the language, for example, the writing system, grammar, and vocabulary, knowledge of the topic of the text, knowledge of the author, knowledge of the genre, and knowledge of the world, including experiences, values, and beliefs. Having known what reading is, now let's move on to reading fluency. How can one become a fluent reader? First of all, you need to know what fluent reading means. Here, fluent reading means reading quickly, efficiently, effectively, and automatically. Automatically means without thinking. Therefore, reading fluency is about both the speed and the accuracy. When people read fluently, the automatic recognition of words is accurate every time. In order to do automatic recognition of words, one must have a reading vocabulary knowledge, as shown in a continuum in Figure 1. Sight means the ability to see. So sight vocabulary refers to vocabulary that you know at the first sight of it. For example, dog. To illustrate the important role that sight vocabulary plays in fluent reading, read these 2 sentences and time yourself. Each sentence has 13 words, but most likely you read the first sentence quickly, but it took you somewhat longer to read the second one. The 13 words in the first sentence are in your sight vocabulary. However, several of the words in the second sentence are probably part of your general vocabulary, even unknown words. So, how to become a fluent reader? We can become fluent readers by reading. When people read a good deal, they encounter words that are part of their general vocabulary. They pause briefly to recall their meaning and then continue reading. When readers come across the same words over and over again, these words gradually move along the continuum and become a part of their sight vocabulary. The more people read, the larger their sight vocabulary becomes. And the larger their sight vocabulary becomes, the more fluent their reading becomes. Besides building up sight vocabulary, are there any other fluent reading strategies? Of course, here they are. The first one, scanning and skimming. For more details on this strategy, please refer to another MOOC lesson prepared by our center. Second strategy, guess the meaning of an unknown word by using context clues. Here are two examples of how you can use context clues to guess the meaning. At first, I was doubtful that I could do the job. After one successful week, however, I am much less dubious. What does dubious mean? Based on the context, dubious should be a synonym of doubtful. Synonyms are words with similar meanings. The second example. The sea lion is a cumbersome animal on land, but in the water it is one of the most graceful. What does cumbersome mean? Again, based on the context, cumbersome is an antonym of graceful. It means awkward. If you couldn't find any clue to guess the meaning, you simply ignore the word. So the next strategy is ignoring unknown words, so they won't influence the flow of your reading. The last strategy, previewing and predicting. It is a useful strategy that helps readers get an introduction to a text. Research shows that readers read a text with greater understanding when they know something about it. To demonstrate the importance of it, please read this paragraph. Does it make sense to you? Who are a chosen few? It mentioned a mighty creation. What is this mighty creation? A homeland resembled a rubber ball. What does it mean? What's the memorable declaration? Now read again. This time, a title is provided. What about this time? The title says, The First Manned Moon Landing. So a chosen few should be the chosen astronauts. The mighty creation is the spaceship. A homeland resembled a rubber ball refers to the moon. And the memorable declaration refers to the first manned moon landing. So you see, even with the help of a title only, the understanding of a reading becomes easier. Therefore, please, before you start reading, look at the text title, images, for example, photos, drawings, graphs, etc. After previewing, you should try to predict, make a guess about the topic, what the text is about, which will help you improve your understanding of the text when read it. Okay, so that's reading fluency. As we all know, reading is not simply about speed or vocabulary. It's also about comprehension. So now, let's look at the last part, reading comprehension. Again, we start from its definition. What's reading comprehension? Reading comprehension can be seen as the product or result of the interactive processes of reading, meaning or understanding, and accuracy. There are three types of comprehension useful in helping you interact with your reading. They are literal comprehension, reorganization, inference. The first type is the simplest type of comprehension. As suggested by its name, literal comprehension is an understanding of the straightforward meaning of the text, such as facts. You can answer literal comprehension questions directly from the reading. The second type is the reorganization. Students use information from various parts of the reading and combine them for additional understanding. For example, a reader might read at the beginning of a story that John Watson died in 2012. Later, the reading might reveal that he was born in 1962. In order to answer the question, how old was Mr. Watson when he died, you have to combine information from different parts of the reading. In order to accomplish this type of comprehension, one has to examine the text in its entirety. The third type, inference. It requires you to combine your literal understanding with your own knowledge. You may find it difficult to do inferencing because the information is not explicitly given in the reading. One way of helping you is to relate it to inferencing in the real world. For example, if your friend comes to class with a white umbrella, you can infer that it is raining outside. Just a simple example of inferencing to illustrate the point. Besides answering comprehension questions after reading, it is also beneficial to learn comprehension strategies. In order to learn to read, here in this lesson, 4 comprehension strategies are included. The first one, use your knowledge of the topic to help you read. I'd like to remind you again that understanding it is an interaction between the reader and the text. Here are the suggestions on how to practice this strategy. First, use the previewing and predicting fluency strategy. Next, think about what you know about the topic of the reading. And then, think about what information you might find in the reading. At last, read the text. Okay, the second comprehension strategy is to find main ideas in paragraphs. It is an important strategy in reading academic text. Generally, every paragraph has a main idea, the most important information the writer wants to convey. The main idea is often near the beginning of the paragraph. For example, please read this paragraph and find out the main idea of this paragraph. The first sentence is the main idea of the paragraph. The other sentences of the paragraph, they are used to explain why attending a community college is much cheaper than attending a university. The third strategy is to recognize supporting information. Here are some common types of supporting information. Examples: facts and statistics, reasons, cause and effect. In the paragraph you just read, how many types of supporting information can you find? Okay. The last comprehension strategy that I'm going to introduce here is distinguish between fact and opinion. A fact is something that happened or something that can be proved, while an opinion is someone's idea or belief. Read these 2 sentences and decide which is a fact and which is an opinion. My grandfather has 11 toes. My grandfather's feet are ugly. The first one is a fact because one can count the toes, so that can be proved either true or wrong. The second one is an opinion because someone else may disagree and hold a different opinion. Okay, so those are the comprehension strategies I'd like to introduce to you. If you learn and practice them often, your reading comprehension will surely improve. All right, that is the end of this lesson, and this is the book I used to prepare this lesson. Should you have any questions about these strategies, please don't hesitate to contact me at this email address. Enjoy your reading.